all would not give me a moment of peace about the Chiagoos. So I ordered them. My nitpick set right here, we'll do a side-by-side comparison. We'll see what the verdict is. One thing that gives me pause with this set, these needles are considered small, these needles are considered large, and you cannot use the same cable on both of these types of needles because this joint is much smaller than this joint. That's a problem for me. Let's say I'm using a size 10 needle to knit a sweater, but the ribbing is knit on a size 8. With my nitpick set, I would unscrew those 10s, screw on the 8s, continue knitting with the same exact cable. But for this set, I can't actually do that. I have to change the entire cable out. It's just an extra step, it's an extra annoyance. Am I being super critical? Yeah, this is a really expensive set. I shouldn't have any complaints at all about this set for the price that I'm paying, especially if there's a set that's cheaper that solves that problem for me. Let's take a look at these tips themselves and do a side-by-side comparison with my nitpick set. The Chiagoos on the left and the nitpicks on the right. Length of each tip are the same size. I actually think that the taper length and the sharpness of these needles looks pretty comparable. This is our trusty's kitchen scale, and we'll start with the Chiagoo tip. It weighs in at 3.7 grams. We'll zero it out one more time, and we'll go to the nitpick stick. We're weighing it at 5.2 grams. I know that one of the commenters said they liked the weight of the Chiagoo needles. The nitpicks are heavier. The diameter of the cable seems very, very comparable to me, and the flexibility of the cables also seems very comparable to me. They feel very comparable in weight, and the way the needle tip is joined to the cable looks extremely comparable as well. And then for both sets, you're also going to be using a key to tighten them. So here's a side-by-side nitpicks versus Chiagoo, and you can see that the Chiagoo is hanging slightly more straight than the nitpicks. Slightly. But when I'm knitting in the round or even flat, I'm going to be holding my needles like this anyway. Does it make that big of a difference? All right, let's do a knitting test. I'm going to knit a row of my nitpicks needles. Now let's switch over to the Chiagoos. They feel really similarly pointy to me. I'm sorry, you guys. I know you think they're pointier. They really feel the same. But one thing that's standing out to me pretty immediately is the slight texture on the Chiagoo tips. They definitely feel less slippery than my nitpicks needles. The project is now fully on these Chiagoos. That texture is definitely going to take me some getting used to. These are not as slick as the nitpicks. Because of the larger joint, pushing the stitches from the cable onto the needle is not a smooth process for me. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It's a bigger difference in diameter between the cable and the needle here. Like, it's a bigger jump. Can I make this work for you guys? I feel like a makeup influencer. I think the biggest issue I have with Chiagoos is the fact that there are two different cable sizes for the different needle tips, because that is a functional problem for me. I need to be able to switch the tips on my project from different sizes and keep the cables in. To be honest with you, I'm also disappointed in the joins, and I know that people really love the Chiagoo joins, but I found that the difference in diameter between the cable and the needle itself meant that sliding my stitches from the cable to the needle wasn't as smooth as sliding the stitches from the cable to the needle on my nitpicks. Perception of this brand in our mind, we think of it as luxurious, we think of it as luxury, and therefore we're like, oh, it's much better. But at the end of the day, it really is an equivalent or less good product than the nitpicks. I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to yuck your yum, but I had to try it because you guys told me I had to try it. I had to return them. I'm sorry. The good news is nitpicks are pretty cheap. You can check them out yourself. I'm totally satisfied with my nitpicks, and this experience has only further solidified my satisfaction.